Hey, how's it going? Welcome to University of Me. My name is Frank. I'm a certified hypnotherapist, and I've been doing this for about 8 or 9 years. And from this hypnosis, getting to know yourself, developing, working with clients, I've definitely seen a pattern, especially when it comes to relationships and who we are as an individual, how we work with other people, and also who we attract. Now, I could strongly say that who I am today is because of everything I've done wrong in the past. And if you dated me, you definitely know what I'm talking about. It's just one of those things where you have to live and learn. And if you didn't go through those things, how are you going to get better? How are you going to learn from your mistakes? Now, obviously, everybody is perfect, right? I'm perfect, you're perfect. But in reality, that's not really it. We might think we are, but sometimes it's not who we really truly are. And being those imperfections actually allows us to attract the right person and to be a good fit. So if you come with me today and kind of learn about who we are as relationships, who we are in as individuals, how we are within, let's say, our own little universe in our heads and who we think we are, you really kind of get an idea of who you are on a subconscious level and not on a conscious level. Who you really are deep inside, what really motivates you. So with all my practicing and all of my clients and getting to know them, there's always been this pattern of, I call it northern polarity and southern polarity. Individuals that are more introverted and more extroverted. Now, we're all a variation of the whole thing, but we have a percentage of one than the other. Now what we have is our protection, meaning how you act when you get nervous. Then you get your core, meaning how you act in a relationship, and then also how you perceive information, meaning do you read into things or do you take them at face value? Now, I'll explain all three, but let's go into this. Now, northern polarity people have a tendency to be very overthinkers, meaning they're my introverts, they're always analyzing. I like to make fun of them because they're always cold. And the reason being is because all their blood is always in their brains. They're always thinking and analyzing and processing, thinking of the future, the past, the present. And who knows where they're at. Even, they could just be ice skating or having a yogurt. But yet they're thinking about some other things. And the best thing for them is actually that somebody is very extroverted. Somebody that was kind of always in the moment, but able to pull them out of their thoughts. Because what is life? Life is in the moment. It's not the future, it's the past. It's right now that's going on. So somebody that's very opposite from that, it's very, very key for them. Now, how do you become that person? An introvert or extrovert or northern polarity or southern polarity? Well, it comes down to what you saw as a child. Let's say from zero, ask yourself, from 0 to 9 months, where are you in your stage of development? Well, you are in your mom's stomach. You are being developed. You have a connection and bond to mom like nobody's business. Now, from 9 months to 8 years old, the child still knows it has this connection. Now, if mom wasn't around or if dad wasn't around, there's ways of explaining this. But I'm going to kind of explain this more in a traditional fashion. It's kind of easier to hit the broad mass, okay? So if you from 9 months to 8 years old, maybe 9, but it all depends, you know that mom gives you shelter, love, connection. Mom's main focus or main responsibility is to give you your knowns, that this is a tree. This is a painting too, or actually a canvas. But she taught you that. The thing is, when you grow up with a mom that kind of doesn't tell you that it's a tree and she goes, or is it an elephant? Well, you kind of grow up second guessing. So you have a problem with maybe believing people. Now, that's more your foundation. Then from 8 years old to 15, 16, then you get the secondary. And that's dad. If you have a dad that comes in the house and says, babe, where are you? And he's just happy to see everybody. And he grabs your mom and, how you doing? Gives her a kiss, goes to his room, changes and showers, does his thing, come back out, sits on the couch, and mom brings food to him. Well, mom just rewarded him for that personality. Mom just rewarded him for doing that. So you'll be in a child, say, wow, well, I need food, I need shelter, I need love. Well, I got to pick up dad's personality in order to get more attention from mom. This is kind of how we start developing our own personalities. Obviously, we picked it up from dad. Doesn't matter if you're male or female. And if dad was extroverted, it'd be somebody very connected to his body. That's why I call it southern polarity, extroverted. very heart driven, I call it. Now, if you have a dad, let's say he gets home, but he's not mad at nobody, he just goes straight to his room, change, quietly does his thing. He's thinking, processing the day. You could see the frown lines, throughout the whole interaction with him when he gets home. Then he goes straight to the living room, and sits down, and mom brings food to him. Well, that's more of an introverted process. Somebody is more in their head. So mom brings food over to him, and she just rewarded him for that personality. So the child sees this and picks up that personality because, what? It gets more attention from mom. And our main focus is more attention to mom because she's the one that feeds. She's the one that gives the shelter, the love. There's many different factors there. Because of this, now, I always say in a relationship, it either wants to be 100% introvert or it wants to be 100% extrovert, or 100% masculine or 100% feminine. Now, there is a balance between the whole thing, meaning you as an individual, you might be, let's say, 70% introverted. Well, you're going to attract somebody that is 30% introverted, but 70% extroverted. It just wants to balance itself out constantly. So where you are more comfortable at, that's what you want to be. Now, let's say you're an introvert, right? You're kind of in your head all the time, processing. Well, you're going to attract somebody that's very extroverted. Now, there might be some, you might attract somebody like you. These things do happen. But in the long run, you really want somebody that's your opposite. Somebody in your opposite, really, it's the yin and the yang. It's that balance that you need. Introvert people are very, business-like. They make sure the bills get paid. They make sure that you have retirement funds. Then my extroverted person will say, yeah, that's all good, but we haven't been out. We haven't gone to the movies. The kids, they're bored. We need to take them to the park. They're the ones, the ambassadors of fun. They're the ones that walk in the room. They're, hey, everybody, we're here, right? And the introverts are like, man, you always make a scene. But in reality, it's a good balance because it's just forcing that introvert or that northern polarity to get out more, to enjoy life, to get out of their heads. Now, like I said, the individuals that they could attract are the same, meaning two introverts could attract. They'll have a lot of money and great credit, but let me tell you, they'll just have no skills in how to talk to each other. They're always assuming that the other person is thinking this, right? Then they have another factor is that people that are very extroverted, somebody very connected to their bodies. Well, they have a tendency, if they attract each other, they're trying to always outdo each other. They're always trying to be on top. More ways than one, by the way. A little side pun. Anyways, so it's really funny when they attract. And the thing is they don't last. Now, they do attract. They do have fun. But usually they don't last. And you'll see it too. And if you have parents that have been together, many plus years, you'll see one more introverted and more extroverted. Especially, I've seen people that are much older, like, their 50s and stuff like that. And they've been together for 50 years, I'm trying to say. They'll show this balance. And you'll see it within them. And it works out. But it's also allowing one person to be their true selves. So, for instance, if somebody else, I was an extrovert, and somebody else was an introvert, well, it allows them to be their comfort zone, who they are. It allows me to be me, the ambassador of fun, right? The fiesta, whatever it is that I want to do. So this balance is, let's say, in everything. Even when I say masculine and feminine, it doesn't matter if you're male or female, you could have more masculine traits than the other person. It's a balance between the two. I'll talk about another day about masculine and feminine qualities, how to have that in the workforce, have it at home. It's really fascinating how we develop as humans. But on the focus of right now, on the introvert and extroverts, this exploration of who you are, if you feel like you're always cold, I would say you're maybe introverted. If you feel like you're always hot, then I would say you're very extroverted. But when I talked about earlier was your defense and your core, your defense could be just how you act when you get nervous. Meaning if, I'll put myself out there. A lot of people think I'm an extrovert. I get to a place and I could walk into a home and hey, everybody, how you doing? I'm really excited. Well, the thing is, for me, that's my, defense. I want to just make sure that everybody's doing good and I'm just livening up the place. But in reality, who I really am, I'm actually an introvert. I'm actually really in my head. So once I get kind of comfortable with somebody, I'll have a tendency to pull back in my head. And unfortunately, it causes a little bit of not trauma, like problems, because other person's like, "Well, what's wrong? You were right. You're so quiet. What's wrong with you? You're okay. Something's wrong." In reality, I'm actually giving them a compliment because I feel comfortable enough to be my true self. Now, somebody that would be good for me, since I'm kind of in the spectrum, kind of in the middle, well, somebody that's good for me would be my opposite. Somebody that, if they get nervous, they would be more introverted. But their core is more extroverted, more southern polarity. My southern polarity people are they're more into relationships. They like to touch, feel. So if I had that balance with somebody, God, it works wonders for me. I got to be honest with you. It is something that is very profound in my life. So that's kind of who I am. Well, it will be vice versa with somebody else. They have to have that balance. Like I said, that relationship is thriving for that balance. But it doesn't matter if you're male or female to be introvert or extrovert. It doesn't matter if you're, in a same-sex relationship. Somebody's going to take one role of more introverted or more extroverted. And from that, I say, you live a happier life. Because now it's 100%. It's 100% true. So it's a little bit for you guys. Just, believe in the power of the opposite attract and they last. So this is Frank, and I appreciate your time. Have a good day. Thanks.